was taking place.
Well, Simon Marks joins us live now from Washington, D.C. So tell us what John Brennan said about his understanding when he was CIA Director of contacts between members of the Trump team and the Russians.
Well, surely, just to be clear, John Brennan was CIA Director until Donald Trump became President of the United States, at which point he was replaced. But what was taking place there up on Capitol Hill were attempts by successive Republicans on the committee to try and get John Brennan to say he had not seen any evidence of collusion between President Trump's team and the Russians. And John Brennan, time and again, failed to take the bait. And indeed, in that exchange with Congressman Trey Gowdy, a Republican loyalist loyal to President Donald Trump, he revealed for the first time that when he was CIA Director, he saw information and intelligence that suggested that Russian intelligence sources were indeed in contact with some members of President Trump's campaign team, wittingly or unwittingly on the part of those members of President Trump's team. And he came to the conclusion that it was his job to forward that information to the FBI so that they could then decide whether that information warranted any kind of criminal probe and ultimately possibly a criminal prosecution. So John Brennan disclosing that he believed there was information to suggest that some members of President Trump's campaign team were in touch with Russian intelligence during the election campaign, and that is obviously a very big development in this story indeed.
And just briefly, Simon, Mr. Brennan said President Trump had broken protocol by disclosing highly classified intelligence to the Russians. What does that mean for the president?
Well, it means that President Trump's team have not been entirely truthful when they have described those conversations with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov as entirely appropriate. In fact, John Brennan said that if the president had decided to declassify intelligence believed to have been provided to the US by the Israelis and pass it on to the Russian government, it shouldn't have been him that was doing the passing on. It should have fallen to the country's intelligence agencies to do it. So in another area, he also struck a blow, a further blow, at President Trump as he continues his travels overseas.
Simon, thank you. Simon Marks in Washington, D.C. there.